This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is now available on Amazon. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Alright, y'all. Good morning. This is that second video I promised y'all. I want to talk about a project that I'm working on. It's called the Fighting Mississippians. Now, I was just moved back down here to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Thank God I'm back in God's country. From Toledo. Took me about 15 hours to drive down here. And I knew I didn't want to listen to the radio the whole time, because I don't listen to a lot of new music. Matter of fact, I don't listen to any new music, come to think about it. So I didn't want to hear the same old songs playing over and over again. So I listened to audiobooks. And I was listening to John Grisham, who is my all-time favorite author, The Boys from Biloxi. Well, hey, I'm a boy from Biloxi. I was born and raised in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm about as boy from Biloxi as you can get. And I noticed that he took several different events that happened on the coast, fictionalized them, and I noticed that he took parts and storylines from at least 2 books when he did this. The 2 books that I picked up on, one of them is Mississippi Mud by Edward Humes, which was a pretty factual book about a judge and his wife who was murdered down here, and the story was basically told by their daughter. The other book was a local lawyer by the name of Chet Nicholson wrote a book called The Dream Room, and I picked up on a lot of that storyline as well. The Dream Room is a dramatized, factual account of things that were going on here on the coast in from about the 1940s to the 1980s. So I picked up on the storyline from those 2 books, as well as some other dramatized stuff, and he made it his own. And again, John Grisham, once again, made a damn good book. So that told me that what I was doing wasn't wrong, because the Fighting Mississippians, the project that I'm working on, and by the way, not a paid endorsement of John Grisham or the Boys from Biloxi, but hey John, you want to pay me? Just shoot me an email or shoot me a message, brother, and hey, I'll go ahead and, you want to throw some money my way or at least get me in the door with Random House, I'd appreciate it. Just playing. Help a brother Mississippian out. The Fighting Mississippians, I'm basically doing a John Jake style writing with it. If you know who John Jakes was, he wrote The Blue and the Gray, and he also wrote North and South. Both of those wound up being miniseries that were made into made-for-TV miniseries back in the 80s. North and South is probably the more popular of the 2. Well, he took in North and South, he had two fictional families. The Maine family from South Carolina and the Hazard family from Pennsylvania. Completely made up fictional families. And he put them surrounded by factual historical events and historical people. In both, he put them around the war between the states. Well, I loved what he did with it. So I borrowed a little bit from his style, and I came up with the fictional Pennington family. I say the fictional Pennington family, not talking about the real Pennington family, the ones that I'm actually related to, that are from Monticello, Mississippi. And I started them off way back in England, back in the 1600s. And I'm bringing it all the way to present day in Mississippi. Now, folks, let me tell you, a lot of research goes into this type of book. Now, I am a historian. I love history. Absolutely love history. So I have to go in there and I have to find out what happened, when did it happen, what was going on to cause this to happen, and take almost as many aspects and as many points of view as I can, because I'm putting this from the point of view of British aristocracy, brand new colonials, colonists, brand new American colonists in a brand new British American colony, Georgia. And I'm taking this and I'm following it through from Georgia being founding to the introduction of slavery to the expansion of the Georgia colony west, which Georgia at one point went all the way to the Mississippi River and encompassed the states of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, except down here on the Gulf Coast. The American Revolution, Masonry, because Masonry played a very large part of the founding of this country. The founding of this country, Yazoo land scandal, Mississippi Territory, statehood, slavery again still, plantation life, the war between the states, Reconstruction, the turn of the century, the Great Depression. I'm taking all of this and including it in one book. And this is not a history book. Although I think it could be an interesting historical read, because I am doing so much research on this. It's going to take me a couple of more years, maybe even a few years to finish. And I know this. I'm out here, I'm researching daily for this book. You know, every day I learn something new and I decide, do I really want to put this in there? Or, you know what, this is really cool. I can't pass this up to leave it out. And it's just little tidbits of historical trivia that incorporate nicely. And if I find something that's historically significant that doesn't incorporate into my storyline, I make my storyline fit. These are things that I do. And I really want to reach out to y'all and see if anybody else is doing this. Now, I said I'm kind of borrowing his writing style. I do not believe in plagiarism. I am not plagiarizing anything. But I do think that somebody's the writing style and the way somebody puts stuff in, I think it's important. And I'm trying to articulate my point that I'm trying to get across here as far as the John Jakes analogy. But I think this would be a great thing when I get it done. I'm really curious if anybody else is doing this. And if you want more information, hey, shoot me a message or leave a comment. Be my pleasure. Y'all have a good one. And y'all keep writing.